Hi, my name is Dr. Alan Barnard. I'm CEO of Goldratt Research Labs. It's a great honor for me to announce that I've been invited as a keynote speaker to the TOC Korea Conference at the end of October in Seoul by Professor Namki Chong and Professor Choi. I will be speaking on three different topics. The first one is about how you could use a methodology like theory of constraints to ensure that your organization is successful despite demand and supply volatility or uncertainty. Some of the concepts that I will be introducing is based on the new book called Anti-Fragile by Nassim Taleb. In the book, he describes how you could measure the fragility of an organization. Organizations that are harmed by volatility are fragile. Those that are not harmed by volatility are robust. And then there's an interesting type of organizations that actually benefit from volatility in demand and supply. And I'll be sharing some of the latest research insights into what are the changes that you can make that can transform your organization into one that is anti-fragile. The second topic that I will be talking about is one that is of great interest to me for a very long time. It's about change management and specifically two issues. The first one is, why do we resist change? Is it because purely of the ignorance of the positive or the upside of the change, or ignorance of the downside of not changing? Or maybe does it have to do with inertia that are mainly caused by our exaggerated fears, frustrations, essentially limiting assumptions about the negatives of changing and the positives of not changing. I'll be sharing with you a new method that I've developed called the Change Matrix Cloud that not only helps us better understand why we and others resist change, but can also be used as a very practical, systematic way of inventing breakthrough solutions. Solutions that resolve conflicts in a way that has more upside and less downside than the current status quo. The third area that I'll be talking about is the issue about ERP systems. As you know, ERP systems are very powerful. Enterprise resource planning systems like SAP, Oracle, and Microsoft, they have the power of overcoming significant limitations for an organization, and companies rightfully expect to get substantial return on investment from their large investments. But unfortunately, many of these projects are delivered late, they delivered over budget and without the full scope. I'll be sharing in this third talk of mine research that we've been doing for over a decade with SAP to show how you can use a methodology like theory of constraints to ensure an organization will get the full value from their ERP implementation. As we know, technology is necessary, but it's not sufficient. Unless you change the rules that acknowledge previous limitations, you can't expect to get full value. So what are these rules, and how do we know which rules to change? This will be the third area of my discussions. And I'll also be sharing, as we get opportunity, some of the other research projects that I've been working on for example, using simulations to design optimized supply chains or better understand how to improve the flow of work in any environment. Again, it's a great honor to have been invited to this conference. I'm really looking forward to meeting each of you and to share the results of our research over the last decade with everybody at the TOC Korean Conference.